Pastor Randy Weeks is with us.
Hey,
Pastor
Barry.
Randy, how you doing?
I'm good, Barry. I'm great. It's a great day to watch Troy basketball.
Let's set this up. You have provided spiritual guidance to the Troy men's basketball team. You're a retired pastor here in the state of Texas.
In the state of Texas.
I say retired in the loosest sense because you're still as busy a man as it can possibly be. And you have had a long friendship, spiritual, basketball-wise and everything, with Scott Cross. And he has asked you, and you've done so impeccably, to help provide some guidance to these basketball teams. Can you kind of flesh all of that out for us?
Yeah. Well, Scott and I, as well as Greg Young, we've been friends for a long time. And Scott was a member of my church where I pastored, and just got a great relationship with him. And I love college sports.
You played college sports?
I played football, and I don't really know much about basketball, but I just love seeing people compete. Scott asked me if I would provide, they call it life lessons with Pastor Randy.
Right.
All the players call me PR, Pastor Randy. I've already got a nickname.
Yeah.
And I've been down to Troy a couple of times for an extended period, like 5 days, and just taught the kids about life, just about biblical principles, about life, just about life. And so I video, and he shows it before every game. And my wife and I sit and do this at our kitchen table, so it's not real high tech. But it's something that I thoroughly enjoy getting to do. And I've got to build a lot of relationships with the kids. And these kids are absolutely marvelous. And I love the culture that Scott's created at Troy basketball.
Pastor Randy, you mentioned that today. I've been a part of so many of those pregame video lessons that you've taught, the life lessons. Today it was a live lesson
it was
there.
A live lesson.
And you spent a lot of time talking about culture and the principle of sacrifice for the good of each other. And I thought that was powerful. And I know the young men on this basketball team, it resonates with them.
I like I said today, it's a miracle to take 11 kids that wasn't on the roster this time last year, and they have adopted a family within themselves. And that's what I see things a little bit different. But I'm just telling you, these kids are going to waste a lot of gas finding a better culture to come into than Troy basketball.
You had told them that many times, almost every time, the grass is always greener where you water it.
Where you water it. That's right. The grass is always greener where you water it. And what these boys have done is watered their grass. I mean, they've won 20 games. This culture's won 20 games 3 years in a row now. Isn't that right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
First time in Division I history for this school. I
know. And I'm just amazed. And I watch all the games. I'm kind of in awe. I'm sitting next to Barry, the man. But I want to tell you, I've sat down and visited with those kids, and they do. They have a nucleus of a family. Now, families sometimes don't get along, but you know what? They still come back and they defend each other like crazy. And so under Scott's leadership, and he's such a class guy.
I wanted to ask you a little bit more about him and your relationship with him. Give some insight to our fans back home.
Well, Scott bought all the kids a Bible.
Yes.
He bought them all a Bible. And a lot of these kids, this may have been the first Bible they ever owned. And when I do my life lessons, I yell the page number out because he got me one too. Scott won't do it wrong. He won't do it wrong. He has got a standard And it is so high, and he tries to live to that standard. And I want to tell you, when he was at UTA, you're talking about a 4.0 guy.
Right.
Never made a B.
Right.
Yeah, I never made a B either, but it was on the bottom side. Yeah, it was on the bottom side.
But it speaks to what you were talking about today. Your lesson centered on a verse in the book of James about when you see the right thing to do and do not do it,
it's sin.
And he is always focused on the basketball floor and otherwise doing the right thing.
In life, he does it too. I'm going to tell you, I've been with him in every situation you can. I mean, we're friends. And I'm telling you, he treats everybody with dignity and respect. And I don't care who you are. And I love that about him.
Talking here with Pastor Randy Weeks. Pastor Randy, to all of the Troy players who he helps minister and provide life lessons for.
PR.
You also spent some time. You've been involved in leadership throughout your entire career, in church leadership, spiritual leadership. You also singled out 2 seniors on this basketball team and commended them for their leadership, Pastor Randy.
Spud and Amir.
Yeah.
And I've spent some time with Spud and Amir.
Right.
And we've talked about being a leader. And I'm just telling you, you got to have leadership. And I want to tell you where it really excels to me is leadership brings the water all up. All the boats float. All the boats float. And that's the thing I love about Troy. They'll go 10, 11 deep.
Right.
And I'm telling you, that just don't happen. And Scott did that at UTA, too. He believes that leadership brings everybody up. And to me, it shows because I believe this freshman class is something very, very special. And I mean, to start 3 freshmen with 2 seniors is unbelievable. And the way these freshmen have a lot of maturity there for young men.
Right.
And I spent a little time with them this summer and picked up on it. And but I'm so proud of Spud. What a great career. I've got to know his family.
Yes, very proud of that. From Spring, Texas.
From Spring, Texas. And I've got to do some things and got to meet his mom and brother and on and on and on. Comes from a strong family. You know, he talks to them every day.
I'm not surprised. He speaks about it quite a bit.
Every day. Amir is, you talking about, I've got a little saying I take to the players, just go straight ahead. Mm-hmm. And I'm here to tell you, they go straight ahead. They shot 36 three-throws the other night. You don't get that by going you go straight ahead. They are focused.
Let me ask you one more question that I definitely wanted to get at. In ministering to these young people and ministering to people in general, but to these young people, there's a lot of distractions out there. There's a lot of characterizations of people of that age, of young people, as lacking guidance, lacking focus, lacking leadership. What would you say about your perceptions of the young people on this team and the young people in this country today?
Well, everything's loud. And God very rarely shouts. And he listens to the still small voice. I was talking to one of the kids. He said, Pastor Randy, I'm spending some time with myself just to tune. The world is so loud. It's so loud. And there's so many voices bombarding them. And I want to tell you, it's not like when you and I grew up.
Not at all.
I mean, they've got technology, they've got this and that and the other. But I will tell you, I do sense in them that they've got a resilience about them. They really do. And everybody thinks they crawl in the corner. They don't. Especially athletes.
Right.
They don't. And so they're calling, this is called Gen Z.
Right,
And their demographers are saying this is the greatest generation to come down the pipe. Now, the seniors were the greatest generation. They went through world wars and depression and all of that. It's not going to be in what they accomplish. It's going to be in what they have to overcome.
Which is what defines us all in a secular sense.
Yes.
Pastor Randy Weeks, your work with Troy has been inspiring to me as being a part of it.
You're a good man, buddy.
Let's say we do this in the Final Four. What do you say?
Let me tell you, I'm all over that. I'm ready. I will be there like you can't believe.
I can believe it. Pastor Randy, PR, thank you so much.
You bet.